What's up, everybody? We're trying something new today. We're going to do a live reaction to the new Blink-182 album one more time. I have not listened to this at all, aside from Edging and the other two singles. And I'm joined by mega fan over here, Bobby, wearing the t-shirt from the reunion tour, who has
I dug this
to
out.
it. So you've listened to this a few times, Bobby, and what
I have.
So overall, what are your thoughts, and then what are your predictions for what I'm going to think of it?
All right. I listened to this at midnight, when it came out. I was drinking a Mountain Dew Code Red. I was eating leftover pizza. I felt like I was in middle school. I got chills. I can't believe how good it is. That's my reaction. I cannot believe that it's this good. I was getting hyped for it, and it met and maybe even exceeded expectations. I think, John, that I think you'll probably be mixed. I think there's some songs you'll like a lot, and there's some stuff you'll hate. Some people seem to have problems with the production. I am not an audiophile, so that stuff is like lost on me. I don't care. But I think there's one song in particular that I think you'll really like. I'll tell you afterwards because I don't want to skew your view. There's one song I think you'll be like, this song's awesome, even if you don't like the entirety of the album.
Yeah. So before like today or yesterday, I was kind of thinking I'd be somewhere on the scale between maybe what went wrong and boring. And then in the Discord, there's a lot of people who are kind of like more into like Enema and skate punk and Dude Ranch, and the lowest score I've seen people give on Discord is 6.5 out of 10. And this is people who are not enthusiastic at all. So after seeing that and just seeing some like random reactions online, like I feel like now I'm definitely still in this cynical area because that's just who I am, and that's how Blink's conditioned me to be in the last 20 years. But I may be somewhere in the middle here between cynical and enthused at this moment.
Okay.
So let's play the first song, Anthem Part 3. I told you I was concerned about them because Anthem and Anthem Part 2 are both like pretty untouchable Blink songs. So I was worried coming off of 9 that this is going to be the first thing we really heard off of the new album. We have the singles, and I know for a fact, Bobby, I hate Edging. I think it's one of their bottom 2 or 3 songs. So
I'll just say this. I didn't like Edging at first. It grew on me a little. It sounds better to me in the context of the album, but
all right.
I get it.
I'm open. I'm ready. I mean, so far 2023, there's not a lot of albums that have blown me away. So I more than would welcome a good Blink album. I'm going in here with clear eyes, full heart. And
yes.
So
you're a Jets fan. You're ready to be heard again.
I'm ready. I'm putting myself out there. So let's get this going, man. Let's play Anthem Part 3. Here we go. Okay, so initial thoughts. Overall, pretty good song. All right, it's strong. It's a strong song. My beef. Okay, I have some beef with this. That intro is way too long. I think we were at like a minute.
Oh, this is a John Montrose special.
A minute 10 maybe before we get vocals. I don't know. That's not. I did notice.
Although it's the first song on the album, I feel like it gets a little more.
A little more, but then we had that short verse, and then right back into that intro.
Okay.
That part, I just like, okay, so 1 minute 45 is where the first chorus comes in. That for me, it was losing me a little bit. A little long.
Right.
I would, personally, I would shave off 30 seconds off that intro. The vocals are bad, man. I don't know what happened to Mark. They are super produced. And Tom, I mean, Tom was never a great singer, but there is a lot of vocal effects going on.
Well, there's two things. I know that Travis produced the album, so that could be part of from doing stuff with people he's recorded with and stuff in the past. But also I know that Mark said that he had to go to a vocal coach and relearn how to sing after all his chemo.
Yeah.
So maybe their voices are just worse. But I think they'd be able to hide it better. I feel like it's intentional. I don't know.
I mean, that's like a lot of this new style where
Right.
And but the outro is the best part. That like halftime part.
I wish that part was longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they played that like 3-chord little intro for, I don't know, 4.
I would happily trade 30 seconds off the intro for like 30 more seconds of that.
I'm with you, but overall, I'm enthused.
Wow.
I mean, there's certain parts like vocals for me are a big part of the song. I'm
feeling this.
I can look past it.
Point?
You're all the way over here. Yeah, you might be reversed. Yeah. I can look past certain. So my biggest problems are the vocal effects, the long intro. Overall, I mean, if this was 2:30, I think you have something here. But I mean, I like a little imperfection in the vocals. I know that like newer pop punk, especially major label mainstream stuff,
right?
It doesn't fly. But I mean, overall, I mean, I'd give it a first listen. That song, I give it a 7.5.
Nice.
I mean, it's better than any song on 9, hands down.
Speaking of 9, I would give this song a 9.
All right.
Can I say one thing? I had a lot of technical difficulties while luckily I've already heard the song a bunch of times. So I think I have figured out which thing I have to mute and what I have to do because I was really struggling to hear that song just now. But I think I've got it for the next one.
All right, so let's move on to this next song. Dance With Me, 5.5 million plays already.
Well, because this was one of the singles.
Yeah,
I think I sent you this one.
All right, so let's give a listen here. 3, 2, 1.
When I teach masturbation, I'm always just like, have fun with it.
All right. So I want to hear your thoughts first on this. I know like when this came out, I texted you, or you texted me about it.
I sent it to you, and then you told me it sounds like some good Charlotte song or something. Which I never went and listened to because I don't want to.
Just trust me.
But the first time I listened to this song, I watched the video, which is like a very blatant like Ramones homage. And there's so much going on in the video that it like took away from the song. And I was like, I don't know how I feel. And then the more I think that song is so fucking catchy. Like I really like it. Like Anthem Part 3 right into that, I think starts this album. Like I'd give this song a solid 8 for me.
8 out of 10. Wow. Okay. Yes, this song, the chorus is straight off of Good Charlotte, Counting the Days, Count the Days from Cardiology. I don't like the Ole. I don't like that part. I don't know what it is. And I should have said this on the first one. I really like the guitar tone on this. So this, I feel like I'm kind of, it's a little boring and I'm cynical about it. I'm right in here.
Okay.
Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the bass could have been a little louder in the verses. I feel like it would have added something.
I've seen people complain that like the drums are turned up everywhere.
Yeah.
And like it's like Travis is like, what if we listen to me? So yeah, I guess I could hear that. I would put myself enthused about this song.
So you're a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 so far.
Oh yeah. I really like the way the album starts. Do you want me to tell you how you'll feel about the next song?
Yes, let's hear it.
I do not think you're going to like it.
Okay, first of all, it's usually a red flag. I think I mentioned this, if a band puts the songs in all caps, red flag right away. If they're not Japanese, then it's a red flag because Japanese bands put all their song titles in caps. But for like American bands who do the all caps, it's normally terrible, and they did it again with this album. So it
means they're punk.
Yeah, all lowercase has been like the new wave of punk. I don't know what the all caps thing is, but either way, both of those are red flags for me. But let's play this song, "Fell in Love," that Bobby says I'm gonna hate. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I don't like clapping, so right away you're probably right.
We fell in love.
Okay. So initial thoughts, like if that's as bad as it gets, then I think you might be right. I think it's gonna be a solid album because I mean, this isn't a bad song. It's kind of like a goofy Disney
Right.
Channel, punk song. Like the kids in the Disney Channel high school band, I could see them playing this song. But like the chorus is all right. The chorus was catchy.
The chorus is pretty catchy. The first time I heard it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then I got to the chorus and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like in the beginning, the heavy vocal effect, that's like that new style that I just can't get into.
Right.
The lyrics are terrible. I don't know.
I like the chorus lyrics. I like the chorus all around. I think the lyrics are fine and it's good. The verses are kind of like whatever. My maybe least favorite thing about this song is the na-na-nas. I'm like, Blink has good na-na-nas all over the place. And then Mark's like, what if I do ones that sound like I'm like bored as hell?
Yeah, he phoned it in. I was going to say the same thing. They tried to call back to like take off your pants and jacket or entitled non. And then, this is going right here. This is a boring song. It's a fine song, but it's boring.
I'd go cynical. I'm probably like a 6.5 out of 10 on this one.
Still 6.5. All right. So is that as low as you get on the album?
That's probably my least favorite. There's a couple like joke songs in here that I don't even know how to rate because I just will talk about them when they happen. But like, that's probably my least favorite song.
All right.
And I don't hate it.
I would give it a 2. I'll give it a 2.6, which is, it's fine. I can't see myself, like, I'm done with that song. Like when I go back and listen to the album, I'm gonna skip this one because it's okay. There's no magic in it for me. I could tell right away if I'm it's just not my vibe. Then I'm done. Right. It's a 2.6. I don't hate it. We'll move on here. Terrified, which I've definitely never heard before. So let's check this one out in 3, 2, 1. All right, Bobby. Terrified. Let's hear.
What did you say? Sorry, what did you say when it went into the bridge? Because I had you muted while I was listening.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give my thoughts real quick. So obviously, this sounds a lot like Untitled, right? This
was a Boxcar Racer song that they didn't finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like that's what I was thinking right off the bat. Like it. Oh yeah, I can. Now that you said that, like that. The intro guitar riff that's it's sprinkled throughout, that's totally Boxcar Racer.
Yeah.
I felt like the song itself had heavy Untitled vibes. So what I said during that interlude is that it's kind of lost me. I'm more of a bridge guy than an interlude guy. Like I feel like that bridge would have been a good part to like speed it up real fast with like some quick lines. Overall, I like this song. I like it.
And it's short for you.
It's short. It was 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So it's 2:48, but I did feel like the verses hung a little bit. The verses.
I think the first verse.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way, but knowing that I was listening to it with you, felt it. That I was like, oh, I want to get to the chorus for John. I
like the chorus. I like Mark's like very subtle vocal melody in there. I liked his vocal melody in the chorus. Overall, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's up there with Anthem Part 3. I mean, obviously, I don't know if I'm going to have a favorite song on first listen.
Right. You might. I think you might.
I'm not really even cynical about this one. I'm going to go enthused here. I'm going to give it a 7.6 on first listen.
Wow. I'm going to go, I like this song a lot. It almost reminds me of like listening. I mean, it does remind me of listening to Boxcar. Like it takes me back to listening to Boxcar Racer. And I love Boxcar Racer. I would say it's like an 8.5, probably close to a 9 for me. I'm feeling this. Okay.
You're feeling like 3 out of 4 so far. Right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the.
You've heard this song.
I've heard that. This was the first, other than Edging, the first one they released, right?
Right.
All right, so let's play one more time here. Coming up in 3, 2, 1. All right, Bobby. Let me. I think you know where I'm going with this one, but let's hear some.
It's your favorite.
It's definitely not my favorite. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, obviously. I mean, I've heard the whole album before, but obviously I've heard this back when it first came out, and it came out with the video. Did you see the video for this?
Yeah, I did.
And you talked about this when we did the top 5 Blink songs. I mean, it's definitely catering towards like Blink fans who are like nostalgic, and it speaks to a thing that happened to me when they first broke up, where I was like, when I was in high school, and I was like, I'm just sad that they're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like the song. I do think that it's the more I listen to it, the more I'm, and you know, maybe it's because it's one I listened to a bunch because it was all we had when they had like 2 songs, and it gets a little like boring to me over time. But I like the song, but like the rest of the album I like more for the most part. I like this more than, I don't know. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me. Like, I know it's much lower for you. I mean, our scales are like operating on different levels, so we can't even compare our scales.
Your scale starts at like 6.5, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'd go. It's between boring and cynical, though.
Okay.
I guess
that's fair. I am like firmly in the boring category. Like this, like, you know, Bobby, I have like crippling insomnia. This may be the cure for that. I had like checked out after like 54 seconds. There is at the end. This song is 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And
there's like a 30-second outro.
There is nothing after like 2:40. Like okay, but I do want to say there is a place on albums for songs like this, but it's not track 5. I feel like they've been building up like Nostalgia, Anthem Part 3, and then we just came off that Boxcar song, and then it just boom deflates right at track 5. This is a weird spot for
and this is the title track.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. I mean, they're Blink-182, so they can literally get away with whatever they want. But this
I think this is the sentiment of the album in some ways, but yeah, I mean, I don't think the sound of this song is a good, it's like title, because it's so different than the rest of the album.
For me, this has track 11 written all over it. Like,
okay.
That's kind of, I mean, I am firmly here in boring, and I'm like even tilting a little towards What Went Wrong. I appreciate the lyrics. Like they're a little clever and heartfelt. That's fine. It's not.
But you'd rather it be in a punk, like do similar lyrics in a punk song is probably more appeal to you. Like
Blink has done this style of song since Enema, right? So I'm okay with it being on here. It's a little too long, and the positioning is questionable. And for God's sakes, cut that intro.
Let me ask you a question.
Our outro.
Speaking of what went wrong, how do you feel about the song "What Went Wrong"?
I don't really like it either.
Because I think that's a better acoustic song than this.
It's fine. I agree. This is boring. It's very, very boring.
It was exciting the first couple times I heard it, and then it got a little boring to me.
But
I like the sentiment, so I'm okay with it.
While we're on this, I don't want to go on forever. We're at 35 minutes with the things, but I like the album cover. I'll say that. I think they it's super clean. I like it.
That's only the digital album cover. Do you know the normal album cover is just another Blink smiley, which I think is strange.
Yeah, this looks nice. I like this. The vinyl cover I don't care for.
Yeah, I think I like this better. I agree with you.
This would look like with like white or black vinyl would look real nice, but I don't think they did either of those.
My box set is coming today sometime. I didn't get my new shirt, so I had to wear this shirt from 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever.
You'll post it in the Discord when you get it.
Okay.
So this song, next one, Bobby, More Than You Know, 7.8 million. Was this one released?
Yeah, you've heard this one, and I think you said it sounded like 9 and you didn't like it, but I think maybe you were just in a mood. We'll see how you feel. I like this song.
I do get in moods quite a bit.
My friend Randy said this song, after he heard like one more time, he's like, yeah, it's whatever, but this song made me want to punch a hole in my windshield. That's my friend Randy's review. You know Randy.
Angry, punch a hole, or excited?
No, like it fired him up.
Oh, all right. I mean, all right, let's give it a shot. I don't want to. My opinion could change greatly, so let's hear it again. Right. This song is called "More Than You Know." 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Here's my thoughts. Overall, another decent song.
That song's a banger. I'm saying it.
I mean, here's my issue. Fast songs that tend to go over 3 minutes. So this one's 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Right.
If you divide this up into thirds, that first third and second third are identical. Like that's kind of annoys me. That like if they cut off one of those, I think it's good. I don't think you need to play that first minute and 30 again. Like right down to that intro. Like the intro, we can agree is nothing special. I don't think it needed to be done again.
Right. I mean, I don't mind it, but I think that's a fair critique.
Yeah. What else? I mean,
I think this song, compared to what you said about Terrified, this song, it makes sense that there's an interlude. I like that it slows down and then picks back up.
I'm with you there.
I like the bass line in that interlude.
Yeah, like because like, is that double bass in the?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
So like,
I know he plays double bass on this album, and I think this is where it happens.
So like dropping from that to the interlude, I thought worked. So I'm okay with it there. Yeah, because it works with the pacing and everything. Overall, let me hear. Where are you gonna? I'm assuming it's no lower than a 7, but
this is like this is in a I'm feeling this. I like this song a lot. I think if it were in a single, I'd like it even more. Yeah. Like if I just heard it on the album for the first time. I didn't listen to any of these songs for the last week before the album came out because I was like, and they released like another one the day before, and I was like, I'm not listening. I'm just waiting for the album to come out at this point. I don't want to hear too much of it.
So you're like an 8. So you're like enthused, and you're feeling this again.
I'm feeling this song.
I feel like I'm being overly negative, and I don't know if I'm doing it to counterbalance or It'll
be interesting. Oh, sorry.
Overall, the album is going way better than I thought. I will say like this is better than already. We're 6 songs in. It looks like we got a 23-second one next. Already, I think this is better than the last 3.
Neighborhoods, California, and 9. And you like California.
I like California, but I mean, California felt so forced. And this one, I said before that I thought this was forced nostalgia, but it doesn't sound exactly like anything they've done. Like it feels like
I think it's a great blend. It's what I wanted kind of maybe back when they broke up, and I was like, man, I really wanted to hear what was next after the Untitled album.
Yes, yeah.
And I feel like this feels like the most natural progression compared to the other 3 albums.
Yeah. So for this one, I'm enthused, but I can't help being a little bit cynical. So I'm right about here. Where do I put? I would give this a 6, 8, 6, 7, 6, 7. I'm gonna go, but I do like it overall. The guitars sound mean on that song. I think that's like. So
I'm looking forward to you getting to listen to this album without having to like pause it and talk about each song. I think that will help too.
Yeah, it's so the one thing, like when you have someone in the band produce the album, and this is showing up a lot, like that other ear to say like this is going on too long, cut here.
Right.
And I'm sure, I mean, this is Blink-182. They probably had 50 co-producers on this or whatever, but I feel like it may be missing that in when to end something, when something's gone on too long. So that's a
what if Jerry Finn were still alive and producing this album?
Yeah, I mean, what's the longest song on Enema, man? It ain't 3:30 unless it's Adam's song.
Maybe I was gonna say probably Adam's song.
So All right, let's.
Speaking of the longest song, are you ready for the shortest song?
I'm ready. I like short songs like to me, I'd rather this than in like some of these bands doing like a 5-minute interlude in the middle of the album. I hate that. Like who's listening to that like more than 3 or 4 times? So let's play this 23. I don't know if it's like just talking or whatever. If it's just talking, we'll just roll right into the next one. Let's go. Let's hear it. This is called Turn This Off.
You love that song, don't you?
Why couldn't this one be longer? But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. It's short, catchy. It's a very, very familiar melody. I'm fine with it. I'm enthused. Yeah, that's it.
It's hard for me to even like give a I'm between cynical and enthused just because I feel like the kind of joke songs like that they used to do. It's like I feel like they just feel like they have to do them now, and they feel like a little like,
dude.
But it's catchy.
I built this pool on California. It's
that song is awesome.
It is, right?
That song is awesome, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one like this. Is like, why couldn't this? Whatever. Well, let's go into when we were young, which looks like it wasn't released. Only 20,000. Let's give it a go here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So where do you think I'm going to fall on this one?
I think you're going to be maybe somewhere between cynical and what went wrong. I think you're probably around a boring-ish on it. Like I can't give a number rating because our numbers are so different for you.
You're pretty accurate. Like something about that chorus, the vocal, like it goes like up and down, like kind of weirdly, not with the music. It doesn't work for me. I don't hate it again. I'm a little I don't think I'll listen to this one again. It's not for me. I'm between what went wrong and boring. I haven't gotten to 9 at all yet though, but yeah. What about you on this one?
I like that song. It's probably like I'm probably, I guess I'm between enthused and cynical. Like I'm not actually feeling cynical, but based on our scale here, I'd probably give it like a 7. 6.5, 7. I think a 7 because there's that part in that little like instrumental where I caught it the first time I heard the song where it's like that like and I really love when that happens in the song. So that like I don't know, I like that. I like that song. It's fine. Now we got to listen to Edging, which I
know. Let's see. I mean, let's hear it in the context of and we're kind of losing the context of the album doing this.
Right.
I remember when this came out, I was like, how did they get worse than 9? Like it was just like, when we did our most anticipated albums of 2023, I had come in and said I'm a 2 out of 10 for Blink because of Edging, and I felt like I was being generous. So
and now look at you.
I'm enjoying it, man. Honestly, I'm enjoying it, but that's about to come crashing back down to earth with this one. But let's give it a go. You said it sounds better on here for one reason or another. But here we go.
I don't know if it will to you in the way we're listening to it, but maybe when you actually, it might not to you because you didn't like the last song. So if you listen to it in the context of the album, you're just going to be like, I hate this portion of the album.
All right, here we go. Edging, 3, 2, 1. All right, so it's not as bad as I remember. It's a 2-minute and 30-second song that feels like a 3-minute and 30-second song. And I honestly, man, I hate those verses. It's like a
the verses I really don't like. I do like the guitar reminds me a little of like Untitled album, and I like the like but the melody and the lyrics of the verses I'm just not into. What I really don't understand, why is this the first song you released from this album?
Yes. I would just
not as a single. If we didn't hear this at all and it was just in the album, I really think you'd be like, oh, maybe not from, but like that being this first thing you heard after 9, I get like it's tough.
Dude, it's like that that verse is like if Blink wrote a song for like Sesame Street. Like it's so nursery rhyme. I mean, the bridge was all right. Like Mark's bridge is okay. The chorus.
Yeah, that part I like. The nightmare, daydream, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the fact that this is the first thing I heard, and the first thing you hear is that god awful verse is like, oh my god. If it is weird, like they did that with that, you know, horrendous verse, and then like immediately after, like they course correct and they start throwing all like the nostalgia for Untitled and stuff. Very strange
Yeah,
marketing.
it's a weird song.
But let's move on here.
I'll give it a 6. This probably.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, I didn't hate it as much as I remember. It's not even really boring. It's somewhere between cynical and what went wrong. But
that's where it would. It's somewhere between cynical and boring for me. It's like a 6, 6.5. It's actually maybe it's a 6.5 because I do, like I said, in the context of the album, I don't dislike it quite as much.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I'm going a 3-2. 3-2.
Okay.
Seems fair. What's the full name of this next song? I've got it like so it fits in this.
You don't know what you've got.
Okay, so this song's called "You Don't Know What You've Got." Let's play it here. So if people are still watching, I feel like we're going real. We've got.
It won't be that long once you cut out all the.
Yeah, we got 8 songs to go. Looks like we got another short one though, so we're about halfway through. So let's go. You don't know what you've got. You said.
Yep.
Okay, here we go in 3, 2, 1. You heard that very subtle at the end, the little callback to Anthem Part 2 or a roller. Is it Anthem Part 2 or roller coaster? So here's where I'm at, Bobby, with this one. Don't hate it.
All right. Okay.
Is it boring? Oh yeah, it's boring. But okay.
I think it's boring to you. Like I get, like for me, I'm like, cool. This is good. This is like a solid 7.5. But like I was thinking the whole time, John is going to think the song is boring.
Okay. So like the music, like the chord structure, the song structure itself, everything screams "take off your pants and jacket," except the speed. Like this,
right? The tempo.
It totally sounds like a "take off your pants and jacket" song that they
slowed down,
did like at 3/4 speed. Especially,
I really like the bridge, the Mark bridge,
where it like drops out after epilogue, like right after that. Yeah, I mean, I at first like when the first time the chorus hit, I was like, okay, like this is a good chorus, but like I just got lost in it. I don't know if like my attention span is somehow getting worse as I get older. I feel
possible.
Like that's not supposed to happen. But like I was ready for this to end at like a minute 59. Again, I don't hate it. I cannot see this song in my regular rotation. I'm done listening to it. It's boring.
I'm enthused.
Okay, it's fair.
I'm really excited about some of the next few songs to see how you feel about them for like varying reasons.
See, I could just see. I'm coming off as such a hater. I'm a realist. I try not to sugarcoat things, but I know like I'm coming off negative, but overall like I have a positive feeling about this so far just because of how little I expected. It's just these type of songs are never going to be my favorite songs.
Right.
But I think it's fine that it's here. So it's all right. So Blink Wave is up. Bobby, is this one of the ones you're excited to hear?
I'm curious what you're going to think about it because it almost could go either way, but I have a guess.
It depends because like there's songs like Generational Divide from the last one where it's like okay, it almost seems like they're writing it for old school fans, but it just it doesn't work.
I didn't like that song at all.
Yeah, it was so forced that it fell flat on its face.
Well, this is not that. I'll say that. This is nothing like that. You will not confuse it with a song like that.
All right,
let's do it.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, Blink Wave. I see where the title comes from. Okay. So, the end, man. That's like the how all this or all the small things.
Yeah.
I hear that. Overall, man, they're losing me.
Yeah.
They're losing me.
I love this song's a 9 for me. I fucking love this song. And I had a feeling you wouldn't like it, but I was like, oh, maybe he'll. But yeah, I know that song's not for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to dwell too much. I thought like when it started, like I'm okay with the little '80s weirdness.
It's a Cure song, right?
Yeah.
Like it's basic. It sounds very much like a Cure song.
And I thought that Mark's verses were catchy. Right when Tom started and then into the chorus, that lost me. I don't like it. The bridge was the best part. I'm what went wrong. I'm not gonna listen to this again.
I'm feeling this. I'm gonna listen to this song a lot. I mean, I'm an album guy. I just keep listening to the whole album, but
I'm an album guy too.
But you have to like the album.
I mean, now we are at.
All right, I'm gonna say this. I'll say this. I think you'll like the next song more.
We're at 4 songs I'm not feeling in a row, so I don't know if it's gonna be an album for me. I mean, maybe I see now that there is an interlude. I gave them props before for the short song instead of an interlude, but I'm guessing
the interlude's only a minute 21 though.
And I'm guessing it's just my assumption without hearing it is just Travis. You know, he's got to get his fill, pun intended. So let's hear Bad News is the next song. Bobby says isn't gonna like it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm giving you bad news. I think I might have.
There we go, man. I'm back. I like it. 2 minutes.
This is Godfather Part 3. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Dude, you had your Aliens Exist guitar pattern and the chorus and intro pulling you back to that. So
I didn't even catch that, but yeah, I can hear that now that you say that.
Fast song, 2 minutes, catchy. I've always liked this, and this is like such an early 2000s thing where you have like the chorus and then you kind of like drop it out and do like the little bounce part after in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm so into that style. Like that was like Drive Thru Records 101. So I am pretty close to feeling this one, man. I'm definitely This is the best song on the album so far. I would have loved to hear an album just like this.
I was going to say, what if I told you Blink was going to put out an album that was 10 songs and it was like 25 minutes long?
Give it to me. Like, I'd be into it. I mean, the production is super heavy. That's my only complaint. I can look past it because I like everything else about this song. There was no boring parts. Like, it was constantly humming.
It's funny that you said the thing about the interlude and Travis needing his fill, because that song is the song we just heard is so fill heavy. Like, it's funny that you made that pun where you did. You're not. Let's just set your expectations. You're not gonna like this interlude.
Yeah,
okay?
He put himself. He's right dead center in this album. You never. I mean, he's the most.
It's not what you think it is, but you're not gonna like it.
All right, so let's give it a shot. Interlude.
I give that song a 9. By the way, I'm feeling it.
I'm at 8.5.
Okay.
I like it. That's gonna be a regular rotation song for me. So I'm into at least 4 songs on this album so far, which is more than probably 9 in Neighborhoods combined. So that's where I'm at right now. So let's see if I can stay focused through this minute and 21 second interlude. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, it's not what I expected, but
it's an Angels and Airwaves song just snuck onto this album.
My question is why? Why is this here? Like,
to me is a weird spot. And
it's right after, like, why? If you're gonna throw like before or after Blink Wave would have made a lot more sense.
I actually agree with that. Although, I don't know, you might have turned the album off if it was after Blink Wave.
That's true. But why? Why? This is 17
I don't know.
songs.
I don't dislike it because, like, I like some Angels and Airwaves stuff, but it's fine. But like, it is kind of a weird placement, and like, I almost would be like, what would this sound like as a whole song, I would be interested. But
no.
I know, yeah, you're probably thankful that it's a minute.
The best part about it is the length.
Yeah.
And it's but I'm looking at like the next two songs here, Turpentine and Fuckface. Weird spot for this. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, this is I'll put this as 9. I don't need to hear this ever again. I didn't need to hear it this time. So,
I'm probably like in the cynical range. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not long enough to be boring, but it's certainly not captivating. So let's move on here. Turpentine, 3 minutes and 5 seconds. We're on track 14, wrapping this one up. So let's see. Here we go. More clapping.
The Turpentine. God damn it.
All right. That's a good song. I'm glad he corrected himself at the end. I wrote down Turpentine. All right, let me hear your thoughts first. I'm digging this one, man.
Well, this was a song I was predicting that you were going to like a lot. But then as we listened to Bad News, I was like, this might be your favorite. But that song for me is like maybe a 10. That song's fucking awesome.
So like up to this point, like I haven't really said it yet, but a lot of it, which is fine for Blink-182, it's been vanilla, kind of formulaic. And like this one, I felt like the structure of the song was catching me off guard. Like there was that one part where it's kind of like lulling you, where you think you're gonna get a chorus, and then it just gets right back to fast.
Yeah.
And I like the vocal melody was unique. This one, it caught me, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
There's kind of like a chorus and then the post chorus where it speeds back up.
Yeah.
And then
a lot.
I really like the bridge. My friend texted me. We were listening to it like the night it came out. He was like a minute ahead of me listening to the album. And he was like, oh, you're going to like this bridge because I like sharks. And it's the sharks smell the blood in the water part.
Oh, yeah. And that part again, yeah, the whole thing dropped out. I didn't expect that. I was looking because we were around like 2 minutes and I was like, all right, where's this going to go? Like I'm starting to get that little bit of fatigue. And then, but it's fine because it went into something completely fresh after that. For, 3 minutes. 3 minutes on a fast song, like I said before, it gets dicey if you're going to hear the same.
The lyrics are really cool too. If you look, the lyrics are wild. Did you hear the lyrics at the end?
The lyrics at the end are awesome. Yeah.
Stick your dick in Ovaltine.
I am a little more than enthused about this one. I might be feeling this song.
I think you are feeling this song. I'm feeling this song. It's like a 9.5, 10 for me.
Man, so that hurt is hurting it, man. It's hurting the back.
Yeah, okay, so now that you've heard both, why is Hurt in between those two bangers? Like, why wouldn't you want those to build off each other? That is strange to me. I think Hurt could go after Fuckface or after Blink Wave.
Okay, so you're telling me Other Side's gonna come crashing down a little bit.
I can't remember the tempo of Other Side. Childhood is. I'll prepare you. Childhood is a little bit like California, like the closing song California.
Okay.
So it's a little like slower. Other Side's not quite that slow, but I almost can't remember Other Side like clearly.
There's 17 songs. So I don't expect you to have them all memorable. But we got another blazer.
This is sung by Travis.
Oh God. Okay. Well, let's hear it. I mean, I'm not a big Travis Barker fan. I'll just throw it out.
Co-written by Tim Armstrong, I believe.
A little off topic, but I mean, Green Day just announced that tour with Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid. That's a hell of a tour. So I'm excited. Since you mentioned Tim Armstrong.
The mid 90s tour, is that what it's called?
It sounds awesome. Yeah, it's the 1994 tour. But let's see. 27 seconds. Has Travis ever sung on a track? I heard a weird.
He has a line on One More Time. He like sings in there. He says one more time, and then I think one other part.
I wrote it down. I said, who is singing that? Okay. That makes sense. All right, let's hear it. Travis Barker, the eternal narcissist. I'm not surprised that he put himself singing on a track. Here we go. It's fine. I mean, they went for some reason they go full Black Flag here. I refuse to believe Travis Barker listens to or likes this style of music based on everything else he's involved with. It's fine. I mean, it is what we've got enough songs. We've got enough bands that play this style. I don't need to hear Travis do it. I mean, it's better than
Generational Divide.
Yes, it's better than that. It's better than Hurt. I don't hate it. I'm fine with it. Yeah. It's superfluous, but I'm okay with it.
It's somewhere between cynical and boring for me. How mad could I get about a 27 second song anyway?
I'm between cynical and I would welcome more
stuff like that.
Kind of in this style. I mean, I don't need them to play like 80s hardcore, but
it makes me think of, you remember when Fall Out Boy put out like a little punk album?
No.
Pax Am Days or whatever?
I never heard of it.
Oh,
check it out.
You should check it out.
I will.
I don't know. You'll either be like, this is bullshit, or you'll like it. I don't know. I guess I could say that about anything.
I'm okay with it. So
all right, let's listen to Other Side, because I don't remember what it sounds like.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now you've heard it, you've refreshed yourself. What are your thoughts on The Other Side?
It's good. It's a fun little song. I couldn't help but notice that the first chorus is like 30 seconds in, and the second chorus is happening within the first minute. You must like that.
I was gonna say, I like this song. The second half of this album, I like it. And Bobby, I'm noticing something. I'm sure like the Blink-182 pundits have already picked this up. There are callbacks to a lot of old, so like What's My Age Again, the slow part is in this song. Then like the little it's in there. We heard Anthem Part 2 in another one. We heard Roller Coaster
in Anthem Part 3, I feel like.
I don't know if it was in Anthem Part 3 or not, but I am hearing.
Yeah, there's a lot of little.
I like that.
Self-referential things.
I love that they sprinkled that stuff in. I'm a sucker for that. Like, there's
they're getting you with the nostalgia.
I told you I can be swayed. I wasn't swayed up to that point, but there's like that point, like the Wonder Years kind of did it, where they roped in I'm Not Sad Anymore melody in like one of the newer songs. I'm a sucker for that, little Easter eggs in songs. Because, like, when you're listening with headphones on and you hear all this stuff, it's interesting. Like, I'm sure people listening on their phones might not pick up.
Right.
But I love it. I'm an Easter egg guy, just for that little Easter egg. And just this song's 2 minutes. It's catchy. I was bobbing my head, tapping my pen. I like it. And Bobby, I don't hate the song California, by the way. I thought, like, the melody is very catchy.
Okay. So then you might like Childhood.
I mean, the length of this song has me nervous. 4 minutes.
I'll tell you, there is an outro. There's like an intro, my friend said the end of the song reminds him of Goodbye Sky Harbor by Jimmy Eat World. If you know that song with the 16-minute outro. It's obviously not that long. The song's only 4 minutes long, but.
All right. So. Well, last song on the album. Let's just play it. I mean,
I'd give Other Side 7.5.
Yeah.
8.
Okay. Other Side.
I'm feeling enthused.
I'm enthused too. I mean, I'm not cynical at all about it. There's nothing really to be cynical. So I am firmly enthused. I will give it a 7.2. I liked it. I'm fine with it.
All
right. So last song on the album, Childhood. Here we go. All right. So, Bobby, do you know if the physical versions of this have bone? It seems like there'd be something after that. Like the little kind of.
I haven't heard anything about bonus tracks, but I did hear that I saw like Travis did like an AMA or whatever on Twitter, and somebody asked if there's more songs and for an EP or something. And he was like, yes. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like there are more songs, but I haven't heard anything about there being bonus tracks or anything. But I haven't really been scouring.
I mean, Reddit 17 is probably more than enough for most people. Overall thoughts.
On the song or the album?
On the song.
Okay.
I kind of like I like the kind of beachy ska vibes in the beginning.
I'm so surprised you like that song at all.
Dude, I will allow for a lot more on the last track of the album.
Okay.
This is the place to get weird. So I'm all right with it. There was one part that Mark was singing, and I thought it was going to be the chorus that I didn't like. I think it turned out being like it's pre-chorus. The structure of the song is a little confusing. I mean, overall, I'm even okay with the ending. Like, given the nature of the song called Childhood, I'm okay with kind of like the Atari style sounds at the end to close it out.
I like the little outro part.
Yeah.
That might be like almost my favorite part. I think the song is fine. To me, like, I'm Lost Without You is a better version of this, like the like kind of like long, slow album closer with kind of an extended outro with that has like the dueling drum solo part with Travis, and like I love that song. This song is fine.
Where are you on our scale here?
I guess it's between like cynical and enthused. I'm like a 7. That song's like a 7 for me.
Okay.
Out of 10.
It's
funny because you're speaking of it more positively than me, and you're probably going to be lower on that scale.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, I don't hate. Like I said, I mean, it's the last song on the album. Like, I'm okay with that slow. It's like, I mean, your first song and your last song kind of set the tone for how you should feel entering and leaving an album. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the vibe of it being childhood and all that stuff. I can't help but say some of this song is boring. You know, it's not supposed to like have you up and, you know, it's not supposed to get the blood flowing. This is kind of your chill
Where
out.
did our child?
But I'm also not. See, I kind of chose badly with this cynical in here. It doesn't fit. You know, it's kind of like a different feeling. But I'm somewhere in between boring and enthused, but not cynical.
Yeah, I haven't felt cynical about anything really. But it's just where it is on the scale here.
Yeah, I for those who are still here, thank you. I did this scale. We were supposed to do this sometime in the morning. I remember Bobby being like me. I don't sleep. I had texted Bobby that I wanted to do this in the morning. And for me, the morning is like 5 a.m. And Bobby was like horrified that I even had brought that up. He's like, dude, I don't get up.
You know, I could have done it last night. I could have done it before I went to sleep at like 3 or 4 a.m. But I can't get up to do it at that time.
I don't blame you. I'm a sicko. So we ended up doing this at around 12:30-ish. Penn State's playing Ohio State right now. And I threw in the scale very, very last minute. So I didn't really think through how this was going to work.
Shouldn't Boring be Bored to Death?
It should. But I mean, Boring's a better song than Bored to Death. That's why I wanted to have it on there.
Okay.
At first I made little PNGs of all the song, not all, but all the song titles that were like emotions. And we're going to describe each one with the song title. And then it was kind of like the same. Like you were saying, there was Boring, there was Bored to Death. There was a lot that were like gonna overlap. So I was like, whatever. Let me do the pain scale.
I like the pain scale. I think it's good.
So 9. Nothing really made it to 9, and 9 on the actual pain scale was, I can't imagine this being any worse. It was something like along those lines, like worst pain. It was worst pain imaginable. I
think they should update the pain scale with this. Like, imagine, like, what's your pain like? You're like, it's what went wrong. Like, something horrible has happened to me.
All right. Well, I mean, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. We've been recording for like an hour and 40 minutes. So the album is like 45 minutes, so this may be an hour-long video. So, but I feel like closing thoughts are very important. So, Bobby, can you? You don't have to give a score if you want to. By all means, go for it. Give a score. But overall, like your thoughts on the album, like before it came out, where were you? As you're listening,
what's the journey where were you? Like?
And then now, after like you're probably at like 6 or 7 listens, where do you sit with this as a Blink-182 album?
The last time I saw Blink was with Matt Skiba, and they were opening, and they weren't open. Sorry, it was the tour with Lil Wayne, and I was basically like, all right, I don't need to see them again. Like, I'm good. I'm now at the point where I'm like, I think I kind of want to go to a show if there's, I was leading up to when I heard Edging, I similar to you was like, oh man, I saw somebody online was like, I think this is going to be like their best album, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I want to believe that. But like when I heard Edging, I was just like, and as we got closer to the album, after One More Time came out and stuff, I got more excited, and I started to get hyped. And then I started to get nervous that I was overhyping it and that I was going to, be let down. But I came in pretty hyped for it. And then I listened to it, as I said at the beginning, like I loved it. I really like this album a lot. I think it's the best album since the Untitled album. I mean, I guess that's in some ways not saying much, but I like a bunch of stuff that's come out since then. Yeah, I mean, I'm like a 9 out of 10 on this album. Like, I really like it, even though like like some of the songs I gave like an 8.5 or 9 might really be higher. Like, I love Anthem Part 3 and Dance With Me. I think the album starts great. Terrified's awesome. Yeah, is there a little filler in here? Probably. It's 17 tracks. Probably could be a 14-track album, maybe. Like, I like the Untitled album. I think that's a good length. And I think Take Off Your Pants Jacket was 14 also. But anyway, listening to it more and more, I really like it. I will say, I think listening to it the way that we just did takes something away from it. The fact that we were like pausing and that like, because not that it like flows entirely like the Untitled album where they like really seamlessly transition a lot of those songs, but I just think the album flows good and it's like, it's good. It's more than I thought I could ask for from Blink in 2023. Mm. And I love Blink. Blink's like my original favorite band. They might not be in the rotation quite as much these days. I still go back and listen to them a decent amount though. And I think this is an album that will have like some staying power with me.
I think one of what you said like really sums up how I'm like, what did you expect from Blink-182 in 2023? Realistically, with the track record. Right. So I'm like, as you were talking to, I was pulling up the track list of California, and again, like you said, when I listen to music, I like to have not these headphones on, like my closed back headphones, and I don't like to be doing anything else. Where like
now, being recorded and having to talk about it.
This is this was kind of an experiment. We haven't done a live listening. I was going to do it for MXPX. It never happened. But when I'm listening to music, I like to be like almost in like a Zen mode where I'm not nitpicking every little thing. I'm just seeing how this makes me feel. Does it make me relax?
Yeah.
So we didn't get that here. So I don't want to say this as definitively, but I think on California, there's 2 songs I really, really like on there, which are Left Alone and San Diego. And I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not sure if there are better songs than those 2. I think maybe. I mean, it's been one listen. Like we said, we've been recorded. I don't remember, like, the first time I heard California, I remember being like, oh God, like I thought like, okay, it's not Neighborhoods, but I don't love it. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm at with this, but
there's room to grow.
There's room to grow. Like California is California at this place. It's not, I'm not going to all of a sudden love California or hate it more than I don't hate it. But, I felt some serious potential with these songs. I think once I'm in my actual listening mode, that back half was really strong, and I kind of felt like the song title Other Side, it kind of like made me think, okay, the other side of the album is more for me, including that song. I know that's not really what the song is about, but that's what I was thinking.
No, that's what they wrote it about. The other side of this is for John.
I mean, once that thing flipped, were there missteps? Of course there were. Like this, I mean, this absolutely isn't going to go past Dude Ranch, Enema of the State, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Untitled. Absolutely can't. I mean, we're not in that time period anymore. We're not listening as teens.
A lot of Blink fans on the internet are saying this is their best album. Like, you need to like give yourself
Yeah, it's you can't, like, those songs were in that time period. Like when you were that like a teenager or you're like in your adolescence, you're never going to feel that again for songs. Like those are special forever. Like this does a good job of kind of putting you back there as an adult, but you're not back there as a teenager, like with those same memories, you know? So overall, my thoughts are I'm going to give this a 6.7 out of 10. I think it's, as far as Blink albums go, it's way more than I expected. I think it's average in the catalog, which is fine. I mean, I'm gonna listen to this a couple more times.
I'm excited to hear, like, I want you to text me. I'm sure you will, like, after you listen to it straight through and listen to it a little more. I'm curious to hear what you think.
I honestly, I think I'm gonna listen to it a couple more times. I think there's songs I said I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip them. Like I'm gonna make this like a 10-track album, and listen to that. And overall, man, I like it. 6.7. It's gonna be in my regular rotation. Probably will end up in my best of October video. I mean, there's not a lot of competition this month, but I like it. I mean,
I'd say one takeaway for me from the new album and everything is, like, it seems like, and it could be a PR thing, but it seems like they're actually getting along again, and like they're like friends. And in some ways, like, this sounds cheesy, but like I said this back when they originally broke up, I was almost sadder about that, because I was always like, I kind of envied or like really liked Mark and Tom's friendship specifically. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're like cool again, and that I like. Mm-hmm. I like that makes me happy. That makes like teenage me happy.
I know you love the friendship. For me,
I love the friendship. That was like big part of the appeal of the band. I was like, these guys are like cool. So they're like my friends.
Do you know, like, were they kind of at odds during the Dogs Eating Dogs Neighborhoods era? Because
I think there was like, it was like, yeah, there was a weird like friction. There's obviously the initial friction after Boxcar Racer and all of that. And then there was friction like in the recording of the Untitled album. And that's where like the seams kind of came apart. And then when they got back together, I think they were good. And then it became clear. Tom just had a lot of interests and stuff going on. And it became clear that Blink wasn't his priority. And Mark took that personally. He said something about the song Terrified. He said that in the past, his ego never would have let him put what was originally a Boxcar Racer song on this album. And now he's like, the song turned out awesome. I'm glad I did. So I think that they've like gotten over some shit, hopefully, so, it shouldn't take a sickness or an airplane falling out the sky.
Look at you, man. Look at you. I could see that on a, those little artsy notebooks. There you go. Right.
Yeah, you get a Blink notebook with that lyric on it. Also, just an update. 5 minutes ago, my pre-order came.
Oh, so Bobby's gonna go get his pre-order. Did you get the vinyl or CD?
I did the CD box set.
I didn't even see it. So Bobby is gonna post it in the Discord, and you guys should check it out. There will be a link down below to the Discord where everybody's talking about the album there. So I'm like kind of right in the low minority with the album, but I mean, I'm sure they listen more than once. But we're gonna wrap this up. We've close to 2 hours of recording this.
I have to pee.
Dude, I've had to pee for like 35 minutes. So we're gonna wrap it up here. There's a banner that's been here the whole time. I did not mean to leave it there the whole time, but I just forgot. Making Friends pre-order their album Fine Dying is out now. I've got 20 copies of each color. This is, if you're into skate punk, this is the album of the year. This is right there with Frenzel's new album. Go check out Making Friends. If you like it, you can go to punkrockradar.com and pick up a copy. There's only a handful of the splatter left, so if you are a splatter vinyl collector, make sure you go grab one and follow the band. But
I listened to one of those songs and it was good.
Dude, they are really freaking good. So I'm gonna text you my closing thoughts about this album. You text me your thoughts on Making Friends, because I'm very curious what you'll think on it. But yeah, we'll wrap it up. One last thing to mention, if you're a Justified fan, go check out Bobby's podcast. I will put another link for that.
Yeah, wait, and also if go and listen to my podcast, tell me that you've come from Punk Rock Radar. It'd be really funny if I got there's 10 new people. I would be shocked. If there was more than 0.5, I would be shocked. If there was more than half a person with the interest in punk and Justified, I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know if they're.
Okay. Yeah. If you are still here and you text Bobby, you listened to his podcast,
I'll be shocked that you have my phone number, first of all.
Or you somehow find a way to communicate with Bobby that you saw it. Put a comment down below and I will send you something. So that's a little enticement here.
But they have to listen to the pod, or they could just say that they've.
You have to prove to us somehow that you did listen. So something,
Okay.
a joke or something Bobby said at some point on the podcast, that has to be your
There you go.
reference down below. And then
And the
I will-
podcast is called Next One's Coming Faster. You can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, so we both need a bathroom break, so that's gonna wrap this one up.
I'm like wiggling. I got a piece.
Same. All right, so we're gonna wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. We will, Bobby, real fast. Out of 10, you didn't give it. Out of 10, what are you thinking?
I think it's like a 9 for me.
He gets 9 out of 10. I'm a 6, 5, 6, 7. I forget what I said, but that's gonna do it. We'll see you all next time.